USA Ultimates Club Nationals 2018 culminates with a men's championship game on a historic weekend in San Diego, the 50th celebration of the sport. We've created plenty of history as well, and now we've got PoNY and Revolver. San Francisco, the program, going for their 6th title. PoNY going for their 1st, but surely there's tons of history in New York Ultimate. Universe Point Thrillers yesterday. Let's hope we get another one today. We're still catching our breath. Bo announced he was not going to play for Revolver in an article published on Sky Magazine's website. He hadn't told really anyone on Revolver that he was not going to play with the team when he posted it. Quick Scuba to get the throwing started. Mickle to Kocher. Two guys that played against Revolver in the World Championship final in Ohio, playing with Australia's Colony. Christian Johnson on Sam Little. And with a stall count rising, he sends Keegan, who elevates in the end zone, beating Childs Walker deep for the opening score.
And adds dynamism to this offense. It's really game-changing, for lack of a better term. If he's struggling to connect, history that he has with those other handlers when he's weaving in and out of the front of the stack.
Who do you think Bo Kittredge is going to match up with? You're going down. And Ashlyn Joy to Grant Lindsley. Lindsley picked up by Conrad Schlor. It's Milo Snyder on Joy. Alex Latamadas, another player from the Australian team Colony, who's really had a smooth transition into the USA Ultimate Series, been a key defensive handler for PoNYs on Sanchez downfield. Ashlyn Joy pivots to Lindsley. And there's the first block of the game. Former Chicago Machine contributor Joshua Stephen Stein comes up with the block. Ben Katz has had a big year, completes it to the bidding Milo Snyder. And yesterday we saw Revolver get off to a slow start against Ring. There's Kittredge laying out to save possession.
Dross definitely thought Snyder was going to be giving and going there.
Oh, and there's Bo Kittredge. He threw it. In a game that frankly wasn't all that close or competitive. Expect this one to be much tighter. Alex Latamadas. Resets to Katz. Katz, fair to call him the Keegan on PoNY's D-line? Kind of that X-Factor guy?
Yeah, he's the anchor. He's the one they trust to pick up the disc after the turnover. We saw a lot of Matas doing a lot of that earlier in the season, but as the postseason has gone on, it looks like the coaching staff has really made it clear that Katz is the guy they want picking up after the turnover.
Katz swings it, Kittredge. Floats it forward. Joy overplayed the dump. And then Katz to the end zone for the PoNY break.
When PoNY was still struggling to get into form in pool play, they had to pull so many players over earlier in the game than they really wanted to. Jimmy Mickle was pulling a lot of...
Want him to get knocked out of this game, and it would create a whole cloud over the game.
Right.
Jordan Marcy needs help, gets it to Lindsley. Brian Jones told Ultiworld's Pat Stegemeller after the semifinal win over Sockeye yesterday that he's been thinking about ways to beat Revolver and to stop their offense for 5 years now. 5 years of thinking, contemplating, strategizing. All comes down to this game to 15. Joy lasers it, and then Marcy finds Lindsley across midfield. Kuzmowicz happens to be the longest tenured member of PoNY in his 8th season. Shares that distinction with Milo Snyder. Eli Friedman to Antoine Davis. Wodach has that challenge on this point. Up the line, low throw, incomplete. Paget picks up. And he throws it into the ground. Joy on the goal line. And they could play better. Certainly didn't play their A game in the semifinals yesterday, but again, it was good.
But your heart has to go out to those ring guys.
Garvey shooting it, and that has been no chance for Mickle there.
And validation of your own skill.
Thompson. Veteran Russell Wynn. Up the line, Cassidy Rasmussen. And he threw into a poach.
Marsh peeling off the back for that poach. There's no way Kearns was going to get there first to make the play.
So if he had said no foul, but didn't say the words it was incidental contact, you'd be okay with him overruling the foul call?
Correct.
Mickle to Ben Yacht, who unleashes. Keegan going deep again. You talked about his versatility. And to the end zone, Kocher wide open.
Much later in the game. But Kurt Gibson was stuck swinging the disc back and forth in Bravo's own end zone. We were feeling the pressure from the Ironside defense, and he just unleashed a laser to Keegan, who snuck deep. He does start more frequently on their offense.
Steven Stein on the pull. Friedman, Joy, Schlockett, Sanchez, Stubbs, Lindsley, and Davis for Revolver. Stubbs fires into traffic.
And Kittredge was guarding Marcelo Sanchez, but kept his eye on the thrower and peeled off as soon as he saw the deep shot to Lindsley setting up.
Credit Bo with the block. And then he collides with his... And now going against one another and an awkward collision.
I don't think it's a card.
No.
Looks like your time.
Do you agree with Bo? Ian just nodded.
I want to see it again.
After the play, we can take a look. Katz and Kittredge. Latamaras. Snyder. Guys like Conrad Schlor, Milo Snyder, Ben Spielman. TMF.
Yeah, and it's... I haven't made a decision yet.
Keep us posted. Ashlyn Joy intercepts the floaty throw.
Go through any other player.
Here we go, Milo. Close, play.
That's bizarre enforcement of the blue cards on this point. Friedman to Davis. Drost with the active mark. Joy. Schlockett comes back to it. There have been times through the years when Revolver's offense has looked so smooth, so fluid. Against Ring and against PoNY, we've seen them have to really work. Even with great players like Stubbs and Lindsley and Joy and Schlockett. Over to Joel. To the end zone for the leaping Friedman.
Yeah, the end of that perfect game is quite the story. Jack Hatchett now playing with Dig, who was a leader and defensive standout on Ironside on their run to that championship. He went to Josh McCarthy at halftime and he said, hey, I think I can take Grant. I know his cutting style. I know his speed. I know his patterns. And what does he do on the first point matching up against him? Gets a block.
It's great coaching by Josh McCarthy. Kurt Gibson playing for Machine. Jake Clark had a big game. He was playing with Dig. Dave Ferraro had a big game guarding Bo. He was playing with Snake Country. Peter Pryo with Snake Country as well. Keek still not crossing any of the big guns over. Nickel and Kocher, Yacht all on the sidelines. Lindsley gets open. Tom Doy. More yards for Marcelo Sanchez. Simon Higgins, bumped by Norton. Joy breaks the mark. You'd say try to get the mark on there and don't allow that around, but against Ashland Joy, there's only so much you can do.
That's right.
Marcy, fortunate on the second effort, maintains possession. Stubbs throws it away.
Him for many of PoNY's other tournament victories. Now he's back out there as a part of this D-line.
Ian Revolver's O-line has not had a clean, turnover-free O-point yet. The 7th point of the game. It's been fun to see some of the greats of all time here, and I think they all kind of say that the athleticism now can't compare to what was going on then. Oh goodness, Kevin.
Break chances for PoNY.
Lindsley to Higgins. There's Doy, fires. And that is about that decision from Doy on the throw. The execution wasn't there either, but it's not like Sanchez was that open. There's not a Huck Revolver needed at that point.
And I wonder if any wind conditions had anything to do with making that throw hang a little more than Doy expected it would.
Go down to Megan after the point. I saw it yesterday, so there's something going on. And again, Ashland Joy's first throw through the hands of Sanchez. Hennessy floats it into the end zone for Spielman. Does it surprise you? I mean, Mickle and Kocher have been resting on the sidelines. Why not put them out here on defense to try to really put the game away?
Doesn't surprise me. It's not needed. It's still early. Keep them fresh for that next O point.
Bo Kittredge is out there. They'll pick up Higgins after the under. Schlocken. Up the line for Joy. And into the end zone for Higgins. Applying for different residencies, which is always a tough needle to thread. He hopes to stay on the West Coast to see what happens and how that impacts his Revolver future going forward. Garvey centers to Keegan. PoNY's offense feels like they haven't been out there for a while. Near the sideline, Kocher keeps it in bounds. Rasmussen on the mark. To Garvey. Justin Lim on Marsh. Garvey sending Mickle deep. Jimmy in the end zone's got it.
Hasn't had a lot of touches so far this game.
He hasn't played a lot of points.
And you can see the incidental contact. He's obviously stretching the field a great deal with his break throws from a width perspective and his hucks from a pure length and distance perspective. But I think there have been a few hucks here and there that we've seen throughout the weekend. You can go back and look at some of the tape from the Sockeye semifinal that I'm sure Jimmy would love.
Evan, Ian, the tension from that play spilled over onto the sideline as members from PoNY and Revolver also engaged in very tense conversation about the implications of that rule and whether or not it was a dangerous play.
You don't usually see someone call a dangerous play when there was no contact. Lamar, laser, did he catch it? This was close. A pick was called though. Lamar angles it. That's deflected and then caught by Spielman.
Come. We may have a stall called on the throw.
There is a
10 seconds.
Instead of 7-3, Revolver gets it back on the goal line stall. There's a drop from Sanchez at midfield. It's a couple times Marcelo's had his hands on the disc and has not secured possession.
His throwers haven't done him any favors.
Now it's 7-3, Spielsley, and no Nick Stewart, who's been battling a couple different nagging injuries. We haven't seen him much here in the final. Ashlyn Joy, one of the alternates of the World Games team that won gold in Poland last year for USA. Here's Stubbs, a captain. Davis, marked by Mickle. And there's Higgins.
Something I have noticed a lot of is these off-handler defenders guarding the resets have been more than comfortable when Revolver's 50 yards out or somewhere around midfield to sag off the reset and just clog the lane, prevent the gainer and give up the reset.
Davis for Higgins. Got it. In 2018, for the first time, Peter Farracker's family members at Nationals to present the Farracker to Lindsley last night. Oh goodness, that's an unfortunate collision.
Sorry, I know you don't. I know you don't agree.
He has
That's a yellow card.
Contact the PoNY player move.
So if Kearns incurs another personal misconduct foul over the course of this game, he would be ejected.
Long stoppage. Meanwhile, PoNY trying to take it to half. Little. Garvey frees up the near sideline. Shoots it high. Yacht, he's there. Revolver will begin on offense to start the second half. Last time a team from New York won the national title, final score was 21-13. To give you a sense of the different era that it was. That was 1993, the final victory for the great New York, New York. Evan Lepler, Ian Toner, Megan Tormey with you from San Diego on the 50th anniversary celebration of the sport. Revolver, the defining ultimate team of this era in the men's division, have their backs up against the wall. Davis takes off. Kittredge was ready to go with him. And now Kittredge switches on to Schlockett, who catches the underneath at midfield. The contentiousness is fascinating.
I think observer Jonathan Monforti got that one right.
Goodness. Looked like Marcy just cut off his cut, and Stubbs threw it right to PoNY.
I mean, there was nothing crazy about that defensive look. I wasn't even seeing as many hammer offense is clearly off.
Reset to Lamar. Drost. Alanomanos. What a year it's been for him. Great save. Ben Katz. He has a clutch gene in the way he plays. Oh, and look at that throw. The vision and the add to Bo's legacy. And I think I agree with what Charlie Eisenhood and Keith Rayner said about how, look, Bo's legacy is secure. He's not the linchpin to a title for PoNY, but it adds further mystique to his career. How about this throw? The first throw, a hammer into double coverage. Another chance here for PoNY. And Hennessy's throw is 2. Revolver had 9 turns to PoNY's 6. Right now, 11-7 in the turnover department. Lindsley up the line for Friedman. There's Tom Doy. Nathan White on the pull. Keegan misread it. Badly.
Looked like he lost it in the sun a little bit. You saw him putting his right hand up to try and block that sun.
Tough grab by Mickle with his left hand. Now Byron Liu on the mark. Those two have had battles in the past. Yacht up the line for Little. How good has Sam Little been on this PoNY O-line?
I think he's one of the most underrated players on this team, period, because both coaches can use him both ways in any scenario. He's a downfield workhorse for the offense. He takes a tough matchup for the D-line.
Great catch by Keegan. Mickle calmly swings it. Garvey. Part-time observer, part-time psychologist, part-time conflict resolution mediator, Mitch Dengler.
Developing trust throughout every single contributor on that offensive line. Isaac Saul able to come out and play an O-point and be a distributor.
Bo Kittredge kind of hanging out like a snake in the grass here in the PoNY zone. He's the deep, deep. Schlockett bluffs long to Joy. And now Stubbs. Lindsley coming in. Kittredge gives it to him. High throw to Higgins. Schlockett in the red zone. Has Friedman in front of him, no one else. Now there goes the speedy Lindsley. We've experienced the energy in that indoor soccer field house was a different animal.
So many spectators so close to the edge of the field. The roof and walls amplifying every single cheer and reaction to every swing pass and drop and pump fake.
It was a privilege to be there in Ohio for that. Certainly here today as well. Yacht sending Keegan. That disc is floating. Keegan is there inbound.
About him. He's not someone who's not going to be a downfield threat. I'm not sure if Ben Yacht got away with a little bit of a walk on that.
Defender in your screen on the replay, and that's troubling.
It looked like Michael Spear was the closest defender at the back of the stack. I'm not sure if he knew he was the last back or was expecting more help over the top, but I agree with you.
Again, we're seeing a zone defense. Oh, Spielman was approaching, but Sanchez gets there first. And now Higgins to Davis.
And that's great control from Spielman to recognize that the only way he was going to make a play was by making a dangerous play and electing to pull up and not bid.
Lindsley to Lou.
Looks like John Stubbs as well.
Yep, John Stubbs, not Childs Walker, excuse me. And Eli Friedman. Nickel begins this point as a handler. I think for the first time in the game. It's been largely Keegan and Garvey in the backfield. Jack Marsh to Garvey. This is Little. PoNY on point offensively. Garvey got away with a little push off on Dahlman, slashing up the line. Feeds Yacht, looking for someone near that front cone of the end zone. Swings to Mickle. It's a physical point for both teams. PoNY persevering, and Ben Yacht.
To exert the effort needed. And that's not what we're seeing today in combination with Revolver's really subpar offensive performance.
Subpar offensively and subpar defensively. Little breaks the mark. Some contact, but Schlor hangs on. Kittredge.
And this is what we're talking about. This is why Sam Little is so valuable to the Matas. Spielman and Matt Lamar, who was involved in that testy exchange with Grant Lindsley in the first half.
Lindsley out there for Revolver. Picked up by Dean and Gushin of everything we've come to expect from Revolver. Latamanos over to Loiseau. Lamar. Here's Spielman. Can Revolver's O-line muster up energy to get a block when they desperately need it? Deflected and then caught. Tyler Haskell at the quarterfinals. PoNY took a 1-0 lead. Revolver won 15-4. amazing. New York can finish this off. It'll be the first time since Chain Lightning won in 2009 that neither Revolver nor Kirk Gibson won the national title. And it feels academic at this point. But New York can't. Pony's only turned it 8 times in the game. Antoine Davis, Bo Kittredge, out of Drost to Katz. Kittredge on the under.
Last night we had Sarah Griffith catching the finals berth clinching goal against her former team. I wonder if we're going to have Bo Kittredge catching the championship clinching goal against his former team.
Well, he's going for it. Kittredge does it. Unbelievable. Another impossible script comes to fruition. PoNY demolishes Revolver. And the face of the San Francisco franchise for years, Bo Kittredge catches the game winner. PoNY 15-7, national champion.